Welcome back to Channel 2S. I'm your host, Second Soundwave. It's review time again, and today we're looking at the Master Grade Uma Lightning's Gelgoog High Mobility Type. The Gelgoog's a pretty big boy, even by Master Grade standards. The very normal sized Blitz Gundam was looking pretty tiny next to him. And not only is this kit tall, it's pretty thick too. This is a mobile suit that looks like it should be big, slow, and powerful. So naturally, in universe, it's fast and agile enough to fight toe-to-toe with a Gundam. The contrast between this kit's appearance and performance starts to make a bit more sense once you come around to the back. This mobile suit has a lot of thrusters, primarily mounted on the backpack, the legs, and the underside of the waist. In fact, there is a lot of detail hidden underneath this kit's deceptively plain exterior. The inner frame on this kit is one of the coolest I've seen and easily merits an open hatch custom. The armor on the kit feels like it's designed to detach, like Bandai expected people to display this kit with the frame partially exposed. Unfortunately, some of the panels on the arms were a little too loose, and I had to use a little bit of Scotch tape to hold them down. So the most obvious difference between this kit, the Uma Lightning Gelgoog, and the standard type or the Char type would probably be the colors. But beyond the paint job, it's also got a few other modifications. New head, Gelgoog cannon torso, new forearm attachment, new backpack, and new fuel tanks on the legs. I'm pretty sure they did something to the feet as well. There definitely is a lot of new tooling on this kit, but because most of it is assigned to the model's back, you're probably not going to see it on a normal display. This is a 2.0 Master Grade, and it's a Xeon suit, so there's a gimmick in this kit's head that I'm sure many of you are familiar with. When you rotate the head at the top of the neck, the mono eye will rotate to that side thanks to a pretty cool gearing mechanism inside. Unfortunately though, it's almost impossible to see. If you want to rotate the head without moving the mono eye, all you have to do is rotate it at the base of the neck instead of the top. This is a really cool feature, and it's a lot better than having to pull the kit's head apart to move the mono eye like you do on a lot of high grades. But thanks to the Gelgoog's head design and its very narrow visor, it's pretty hard to see the eye in person. Also, you gotta paint it yourself. Beyond the mono eye, there is one other much appreciated feature in this kit, a simple, intuitive cockpit hatch. There's something incredibly satisfying about a Master Grade that doesn't force you to open 7 different panels to access the cockpit. I've talked enough about the appearance of this kit, let's get to the articulation. Head looks up, looks down, rotates around, independent shoulder pad, comes up to here, shoulder comes out, extra shoulder joint inside the torso, bicep swivel, elbow bend, wrist is on a ball joint, hinge, ball joint, the index finger bends in 2 places, and the other 3 fingers are connected at the bottom and then move individually at the top. Torso's got a good range front to back, decent side to side, and not a lot of rotation. Skirts come up, wiggle, kind of wiggle out on this double hinge mechanism, pull down and come, pull down and gently come up to basically there. All these thrusters can move. Little bit of a forward kick, basically nothing backwards. Okay-ish to the side. Thigh swivel, knee bend with sliding armor. The hoses that attach these fuel tanks to his thighs are made out of a flexible rubber and can bend out of the way with no issues. Feet can pivot, move front to back, and deep bend. And finally, the thrusters underneath the leg armor have a small amount of mobility. Posability on this kit is not superb. Many fundamental joints in this kit are incredibly limited, but due to the bulky nature of this suit, I can't really fault Bandai that much. Before we do any more poses with this guy, we gotta grab some weapons. Beam Naginata, straight blades for static poses, swoosh blades for action poses. When the action dies down, you can pull, open, push, and attach the handle onto his back for weapon storage. Next up, beam rifle for long-range fighting action. Very large, very detailed gun. You do have to paint the scope yourself. This front piece comes off, and this piece goes on. Now your rifle's got a grenade launcher. Bipod, rifle. Rifle with bipod. The bipod can also fold away when not in use. If you don't like that beam rifle, you also get a all-new, all-different beam rifle, which isn't actually all different. It's the exact same rifle with an extra barrel extension, some extra stuff underneath, and no stock. This gun comes with a pre-colored scope. I'm pretty sure he's not supposed to hold both of these at the same time, but he looks awesome dual wielding, so I don't really care. The Gelgoog's final offensive weapon is a big box of missiles. The tips are molded red, and for a brand new weapon in a P-Bandai kit, it's pretty well detailed. Not really much else I can say about it though. Looks cool, and he can hold it pretty well. The Gelgoog's shield is pretty awesome. In addition to having a very interesting, distinct silhouette, it also has a pretty good amount of functionality. The handle piece can wiggle, bend up and down, rotate, rotate, and rotate. You can also take this little doohickey, stick it in here, and you got some alternate storage for the Naginata. You can also grab this piece, and stick it right on here. Then you can pull the backpack off the kit, stick the Naginata into the middle of his back using that same connector, and then plug the shield into the other hole. The shield can be posed on that armature I showed you earlier, and you can almost pass the shield off to his hand without taking it off his back. And by almost, I mean it's 100% possible and also an advertised feature of the kit. The attachment for the shield's a little bit weird. It kind of just clips onto the back of his hand. There's actually a screw on the inside of his right palm that keeps the shield from ripping the back of the hand off when you try to remove it. And I found that when you pose the kit as I normally would with the shield on the outside of the arm, that vent on the forearm actually gets in the way. Fortunately, that vent's removable. So you've seen the weapons, you've seen the articulation, you've seen the kit itself. There's only one more question to ask. Is the kit worth it? Well, considering that the it we're discussing is just over $100, I would say maybe? If you are as big a fan of MSV-R Return of Johnny Raiden as I am, and believe me, I'm a pretty big fan, then yeah, it's going to be worth it. It's Uma Lightning's Gelgoog, and it's got some great new weapons. But if you're a more casual Gundam fan, I would recommend passing on this kit. However, I do recommend you pick up the Master Grade Char's Gelgoog or Gelgoog Mass Production Colors version 2.0. You'll be getting almost everything you saw here, but in a different color scheme and at half the price. So that's going to do it for today, guys. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like. Subscribe if you're new for Gunpla news, reviews, and more. And as always, I'm your host, Second Soundwave, and I'll see you next time. Take care, guys.